When Recess was originally released, it had all the right elements for an amazing kids show. A fun plot, great characters, and stories that any child could relate to.
Did you see that? Did ya?
Heck, it even had very telling, satirical representations of government, leadership, and social expression. Because of the show's subliminal yet highly critical content, it comes as no surprise that several dark and downright bizarre theories have surfaced, offering some interesting points of view on what we may have missed. Just make sure that Randall doesn't find out.
Good boy, Randall. Here's a cookie.
I'm Kyle with Wicked Binge, and these are dark theories about Recess that change everything.
I'll get you for this, Deadweiler!
The students and teachers are part of a social experiment. Because Recess is a show that features some pretty dense content, one can't help but wonder just how a group of kids could possibly display such advanced analytical thinking and have such critical views regarding political leadership, tribalism, and governance.
You can't just give a kid a swirly without a fair trial.
Because of their youthfulness and inexperience in life, even in the realm of fictitious cartoons where conventional rules are bent and the impossible becomes possible, it seems highly improbable that the central characters develop such a strong understanding of politics and administration on their own.
When will you people learn? War is not a game!
It is upon this very line of thinking that the following theory was born, one which, if true, potentially jeopardizes the perception that most people have of the show. That the kids are so politically woke, so to speak, because they're all part of a major undercover social experiment approved by the state.
Don't you see? The ravioli is a square, and the square is a symbol of the box.
Initially shared by a user on Reddit, the kids' forward-thinking and rather mature outlooks on life are all the byproduct of a drug which is administered to them, one which forces them to think beyond their years, specifically on systems of governance.
Well, according to Dr. Freud here,
Hypothetically speaking, there are two possible scenarios which give this theory credence. Firstly, the drug could be taken only once, henceforth psychologically trapping them in this social experiment, or secondly, and more likely, it's mixed in with the food they eat at the school cafeteria, being slipped in by the lunch lady, Irma. This would make sense. The timeline of the show's episodes center around recess, the period where the kids get to relax and play. By unknowingly consuming the drug daily, the kids' minds become hardwired to the virtual reality in which they exist, so much so that the world that they're simulating is really a reality to them and not the other way around. The drug grants the children advanced thought, something which causes them to view even the most simplistic and childish things, no pun intended, with a highly imaginative and critical eye.
It's happening! It's happening!
To us as viewers, the setting of the show's plot is nothing but a mere playground. However, to them, they see the playground as much more than that. They attach societal values and norms to it, transforming it into a makeshift society in which not only do they have a ruler, but they also negotiate concepts such as political justice, or lack thereof, social order, and the right to individual freedom and expression.
if you can't beat them, might as well join them.
Based on the events which happen in this simulation, the results are subsequently sent to the state, who then analyze it.
Okay, let's see what we have here.
Their findings are then used to help them determine governmental policies that should be implemented into the real world. What's more, they also confirm either the success or failure of the trial or theoretical form of governance, thereby saving time, energy, and resources in the real world when it comes to decision-making processes.
I've got it.
While this theory is extremely interesting, one also can't help but sense that the hidden and secretive nature of the entire operation does mirror very much some of the top secret missions done by organizations such as the FBI and CIA and popular fiction, and maybe reality. It also does relegate the kids seen in the show to mere pawns used by the government's own devices, stripping them of their individuality and dehumanizing them in the process, which is pretty dark.
It looks like some sort of primitive weapon.
The real reason why TJ and Menlo stopped being friends. Among the mysterious occurrences in the show stands TJ and Menlo's friendship, one which saddens many just as much as it leaves others baffled. You see, although TJ claims that he doesn't want to see the friendship with his former best friend completely disappear, it doesn't seem as if he's making a true effort to do anything more than just that. This obviously leads us to the million-dollar question: what really happened between TJ and Menlo?
Howdy, Howdy, TJ. You're just in time for punch.
According to one theory, it may have a lot to do with when TJ was selected as principal for a day. While there have been claims that Menlo was an extremely mischievous troublemaker, very much like TJ, following his temporary promotion to principal, he became very well organized and started to respect law and order. As you can imagine, this must have been quite a strain on his relationship with TJ, the latter of who is clearly seen as an emblem for social expression, rule breaking, and everything in between. Considering that their two personalities now began to clash, it eventually drove them and their friendship apart.
Chewing gum is encouraged, while sharing it is strictly forbidden.
Despite their differences, TJ, either out of respect for Menlo or just sheer guilt that he allowed their friendship to go sour, tries to maintain friendly relations with him.
We got older, our interests diverged.
While friends will come and go in life, to know that both characters lost their best friend over something so trivial is truly a hard blow. Elementary school is a period where having a strong support system is extremely important. Both characters lost that to some degree and might even have a rough time emotionally because of it. TJ will eventually become king, although at a heavy cost. Although cartoon shows do feature some really mind-boggling twists that make you go, really? We're pretty sure of one thing in this show. When TJ gets to 6th grade, his pranking habits and troublemaking escapades will most likely make him king. And as much as the title might very well befit TJ, it may not be a bed of roses for the future king. As king, it's quite likely that TJ may begin to suffer from severe bouts of depression from being constantly alone.
No, I'm fine.
TJ, despite his radical viewpoints and general disposition of nothing but a regular kid at heart, what brings him joy and happiness is being on the playground and spending time with his friends, something that the title of king would strip away from him. Therefore, we can imagine the following situation. Unhappy and miserable with his new title, TJ will relinquish the title of king. Something that won't sit well amongst his friends. To his friends, he is the ideal candidate for the position, second to none. For that reason, they will convince him to remain as king, bribing him into believing that they shall all bear the weight of terrible responsibility of king through the formation of their own government.
Give the people what they want.
Still, this is nothing but an illusion. Irrespective of whether they all try to share the burden with TJ, only one person can truly be king. His friends might not be able to carry the weight that TJ will have to carry as leader, something that might very well end up leading to his own demise.
Yeah, maybe, but then I would have been something I'm not.
This is a sad outlook on the future of the gang, as it suggests that their friendship and bond don't manage to conquer the adversities of life. What's more, it could also destabilize the very fabric of their relationship and lead to a very nasty breakdown within the group. Talk about friends forever.
Will you guys quit it already? This whole thing is stupid.
The kids are all dead. If you thought the previous theory was a bit dark, we're about to take you on a train ride straight to the grave.
We are this mighty playground's only hope.
Now, at some point or another in our lives, we've all heard mysterious, scary stories about ghost sightings and hauntings. So much so that they've become a major part of popular culture and also the driving force behind many popular series today. While the novelty of alleged supernatural activity might be a little overplayed, it might not be as strange as it may sound to explore the possibility that Recess was one of the first popular shows which brought such a concept to the forefront of daytime television. Namely, if you consider that the characters seen are all dead. Bearing in mind, the theory goes into some strange territory, mainly suggesting that the show is anchored on the backdrop of the natural events, political tensions, and travesties associated with the Cold War. If that were the case, it's not hard to believe that these kids suffered some form of tragedy in their lives, even if it does mean that their lives were taken in the ongoing conflict.
Never ask again.
Although these kids are dead, their spirits are anchored to the playground, causing them to transgress their once physical state and attain true immortality, although they end up being trapped there in the process.
Precisely.
Because they died as kids, they assume the looks and general features that they had when they were alive. However, the development and maturity of their thoughts is a true indication of the wealth of experience they have as ghosts for having seen the troubles of the world for years.
But maybe we're just not ready for tomorrow yet.
The ghosts remain on the playground and interact with the other kids in an effort to teach them about the importance of democracy and the freedom of expression.
End of life as we know it.
For the ghosts who have seen the trials of man throughout the years, they opt to share with the kids there what they believe to be the way to achieving world peace and better living. After all, children are the future generation and leaders of the world. What better group to begin with? And as much as the theory does add something to the significance of the show's overriding statements on governance and policy, knowing that the main characters could all be dead isn't an easy pill to swallow.
I just don't know what to believe.
What's more, the fact that they are trapped in the human realm because of the horrible acts of war committed by man does tug at your heartstring. But maybe we're overthinking it. What do you think? Do any of these theories hold up? And do you have any dark recess theories of your own? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. But most importantly, stay wicked.